Graduation is always a special time, filled with the memories of good friends, inspiring caregivers, and hard work. Each student embracing their hopes for the future. At Kurn Hattin, graduation is a celebration of achievement and a bittersweet farewell to the familiar. For graduating 8th graders like valedictorian Megan Knight, Kurn Hattin has been a home away from her own home in a time of need.
So from now on, there's only one place I call home. Kurn Hattin will forever and always be my wonderful home.
I think Kurn Hattin definitely gives a child the opportunity to discover that they are a child, but to be that child that they have inside them, but that for whatever reason has been stifled because they've had to take on these other responsibilities.
We're also going to pick them for the kitchen. You guys are welcome to eat any apple that you see that you think is good.
They can kind of let their hair down and actually be a child and have fun, and every child deserves the opportunity to do that.
Kurn Hattin is a residential school in Westminster, Vermont. Founded in 1894 by clergyman Charles Albert Dickinson. Located in the bucolic rolling hills of the Connecticut River Valley, Kurn Hattin has opened its doors to boys and girls in need for decades. The school has a simple mission, which hasn't changed in more than 100 years, to maintain a year-round residential home for children, ages 6 to 15, whose real home is in temporary need.
I would make this one bigger.
Through trust, love, and respect, Kurn Hattin provides a nurturing environment where boys and girls prepare to rejoin their families and develop into adults whose lives have direction and purpose.
I have no doubt that Reverend Dickinson would be extremely proud of today's Kurn Hattin. Looking back, he'd see the original farmhouse that was here when he picked this spot. I know he'd be impressed with what we're doing with the children, and he'd also see that 100 years plus later that our mission was, as he envisioned it, that we were going to help families and help children that were in need, and we haven't strayed from that. There's 105 children here. There's 105 different reasons for them to be here. I mean, it runs the gamut from some very serious circumstances to other circumstances that are terribly trying for the family. It's a tough world to live in these days. I think there's a lot of pressure on young men and young women, and even in the best of circumstances. So when things are a little out of whack, it makes it even tougher for children. Some of our children are homeless. Some come from severe poverty. We have children who have been abused.
Oh, right, I love that. What else are you going to put in your hair?
I mean, seeing the children be able to come to a place where they can know they'll have 3 meals every day, and that there is a bedtime and they will get enough sleep, so that when they do go to school in the morning, they can think about not just getting something to eat, but they can think about trying to learn.
Just being separated from the day-to-day chaos of a home situation where the mom is too young, there's alcoholism, there's a lot of fighting. The children can relax and be children, and they can, I often think they really expand their abilities to academically, they expand their opportunities, and they see different ways of living. And I hope that they will come out of this experience able to do a better job with their children. And in most cases, that's been true.
The most rewarding thing about being a house parent is just knowing that the children wake up happy in the mornings and feel safe here. I have been adding some little touches around the cottage, and one of my girls here says, "Miss Amber, this place is starting to feel like a home because of the things that you're putting up on the walls." To me, that was not difficult, but to her, it meant the world to have something, you know, just little touches. I never want to replace a parent, but I want them to think of me as the next best thing.
Before I came here, my parents had just got divorced and my mom had started college, so she didn't have a lot of money to take care of us. My sister was really having a hard time with my whole parents getting a divorce thing, so I was always worrying about her. And then my mom was having a lot of money problems that she had told me about, because her and my dad were always having arguments right in front of us, so it was kind of hard to, I guess, ignore. And I was just getting really wrapped up in the whole situation.
For Megan Knight, Kurn Hattin provided the safety, security, and stability she needed to meet her considerable potential. Children come from all over the Northeast, and no child is turned away because of monetary need. Almost 95% of funding for the school comes from private donations.
The academic program here is great. There's small classes, the children's individual needs can be met. A lot of the children here get exposure to things that they never would have gotten exposure to in a public school setting.
It's over.
When I came, I hadn't ever played an instrument before, so they started me on the clarinet, but I didn't really like it. So they said that I should try the saxophone, and when I got used to playing it, I really loved it, and I guess kind of went from there.
Children rediscover what it's like to be a child. And they come to this realization because of the stability, care, counseling, education, and ongoing programs and activities available to all students at Kurn Hattin. The caring, the concern, the nurturing, and all the lessons learned resonate throughout the lives of those who have attended Kurn Hattin.
Kurn Hattin introduced us to a lot of different environments when it came through everything: music, sports, drama, farming, you know, like agriculture. You had to deal with a lot of different people. Kurn Hattin definitely helped me recapture my childhood, because it took off those burdens, you know, the little things that only adults should really be worrying about at that point. And because a child, like, you're a child, you're trying to find yourself, find your identity, and the only way to do that is to flex your muscles and to be able to get into all these things that Kurn Hattin offers you. Like, that's the point of Kurn Hattin, giving you all these things so you can flex your muscles and find your strength and find your power within yourself.
I was an adopted child. Shortly after the adoption, my adopted father took off, so that left my mother alone. Our neighbor in Henniker, New Hampshire, told my mother about the services offered by Kurn Hattin, and that's how my journey began. Kurn Hattin, throughout its history, has done their best to make us feel that we wanted, and that secondly, we had a purpose, and if we kept our goals in mind and if we continued to work on them, then there really wasn't a whole lot that we couldn't do if we wanted to do.
Proofs when you were done. It was tough at home. It was hard, you know. We wondered when our next meal was going to come, and you know, if we were going to be able to stay in the apartment where we were, who could pay the rent. You know, it was hard. It was definitely hard. So going from that environment to Kurn Hattin, I come to realize that one of the best things about Kurn Hattin and being there is that I didn't have the extraneous worries that kids really shouldn't have to have.
Along with academics and activities, ongoing counseling helps each boy and girl understand and accept the issues in their home life and develop a sense of self-esteem.
You have the opportunity again to watch somebody turn things around that initially you would have thought it impossible. And when you even hear them start talking about changing and knowing that they're changing and knowing that they can count on themselves to change, it's pretty remarkable.
This is definitely a home. I mean, you have house parents who was there to love you and care for you and pretty much were there to do anything for you. And everybody really looked out for you, and they wanted to bring the best out of you and bring your full potential.
And through services which emphasize individual attention, integrated counseling, consistent guidance, and a stable and pleasant residential setting with dedicated house parents, children are granted their childhood, and a transformation begins for the child and their family.
They involve the parents with their children's lives, what's happening to them, what they've gone through, what they can do to help so that someday these families can be reunited, which is very important.
We really do have a family link, and we need to empower the parents to give them the tools that they need for child management, and I found that that partnership has really blossomed.
In many cases, the transformation is powerful as students come to consider Kurn Hattin home, and they thrive in a setting which offers kindness and discipline, knowledge and caring, and recognition and trust.
On graduation day, I'll probably be feeling a lot of things. I'll probably feel excited because I'll be going off to high school, which is a big step in my life. Then I'll probably feel sad at the same time just because I'll have to leave all my friends behind.
She's blossomed. She's just thrived since she got here. She's got so much self-confidence now and such high self-esteem. It's just a wonderful school.
The spirit of the Woodhull Fund Instrument Award will enable the recipient to pursue his or her musical studies after graduation from Kurn Hattin. I am pleased to present this year's award to Megan Sarah Knight.
These children here at Kurn Hattin learn to respect other people. I think that's very important. They learn to love other people. They learn to trust other people. It gives them independence, it gives them freedom, it gives them self-worth.
Having a sense of being nurtured is incredibly important, and I really believe that the children can do better, and that we can empower them to feel better about themselves.
Kurn Hattin was my home. It was, and I think Kurn Hattin was a home to a lot of us, you know, who, you know, weren't blessed to have that type of home. Kurn Hattin opened its doors for us, and it just showed you a lot of love.